Yeah, value stream processing. I know you explained that to me when the bus at a conference. So why don't you give our listeners like a 101 of what it really is and what is the value of value stream processing?
Yeah. So some people would say, look, aren't you just talking about process mapping? Well, not exactly. I mean, it starts with a process map. It says, okay, to do this office process, here's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, however many steps there are, break them down into what are the manageable chunks. Think of it like an assembly line. And think about it this way. If you have 10 people in your group, if you've got 2 people that are doing step 1, 4 people that are doing step 2, 1 person that's doing step 3, etc., then, how long does it take for those 2 people to do step number 1? How long does it take for them to do step number 2? What is the wage and benefit rate? So you cost it out, and then next to it you come along, and if there is a step that's actually generating revenue, that you're billing a customer, well, there's your revenue. Are you getting more in revenue than the cost to do that step? Yes or no? That's the first question. If you can't put a dollar amount on the revenue you're bringing in, then use a Six Sigma style approach of maybe 139 to actually say, look, step number 1 is hugely valuable because it feeds 6 other groups the information they need or whatever. Okay, that's going to get a 9. And you go through, and once you're done with that, you take it and you evaluate each step in the process. And you say, step number 1 is something that is of high value and low cost. All right, you know what? Not only is it good that we're doing that, but we got to see if we can do more of it because I'm getting a favorable margin out of it. Step number 2, or another step in the process, is high value. We're really good at it. It's a core competency. But you know what? It's high cost. It's costing us so much to do it that it's equal to or maybe more cost than the value. So what can we do within that process? Apply technology, whatever it may be, to reduce the cost because you want to keep it. The next one is it is low value, but it's low cost. And in that case, it's probably a distraction for your organization. Outsource it. There's somebody out there who probably does it better. I'll give you an example. Caterpillar, years ago, they used to hire people that actually did the janitorial services. And it was noise because if the toilets weren't clean one day, then all of a sudden half of the manufacturing facility where I was working got all in a lather about we got to go talk to the leaders and department heads and figure out how to get more toilet paper in the bathrooms. They said, this is distracting us from designing, manufacturing, and marketing the best products in the world. Have another service like a service master or whoever come in and do that for us. If there's a problem, we call them up and go fix it. So it's no longer a distraction. And the last type is it's low value and it's high cost. Try to find a way to just stop doing that. Do we even need to do that step anymore? If you absolutely have to do it, then find some way to significantly streamline it or do it as little or as few times as possible. And those are the 4 main quadrants. And once you break it down, now you can attack each. You can find out which step is the critical process, critical step within your process, and then tackle it. And once you get done, now you can rebalance your assembly line because what you don't want to do is have step 1 take 2 hours to do. The person or people in step 2, maybe it only takes 10 minutes. So when they get done with theirs, they go, I got an hour and 50 minutes to wait for the group in step 1 to get me what I need to do step 2. Then take some of the things that step 1, the people in step 1 are doing, and shift it and have the people in step 2 do it. So now each step is balanced at about 30 minutes apiece. So when the people in step 2 are just finishing things up, the people in step 1 are just getting done and feeding them their output, which becomes step 2's input. Now you've got a fully streamlined process and you've got the line rebalanced. That's when you should also step back and say, hey, why am I doing what I'm doing where I'm doing it today? So now you can think about world sourcing. And I'll give you an example. At Caterpillar, they would have owner's manuals, parts books, things of that sort. And okay, they're virtual now. They're up in the cloud. But the point is you start in English because that's Caterpillar was an American company. Over time, they started to sell into other countries, and they needed to translate into French, and German, and Spanish, whatever. So they would hire people where their world headquarters was at that time in Peoria, Illinois, to do the translations. Wake up one day, and now they're a global company, and you're like, why do we translate all of the literature that we have in Peoria, Illinois? There are 1 billion people in China. There are probably more people in China that speak Mandarin that also speak English than there are in Peoria, Illinois. Mm-hmm. So maybe we should do the main parts book in English in Peoria, and we have a group of people in China and France and Germany, et cetera, that do the translations into the local languages. It seems to be more cost effective and more efficient. So you streamline the process, you rebalance the line, then you look at why are we doing what we're doing it today. The reason Caterpillar is they were a U.S. company that added France, and then a few years later added Germany. And so all of a sudden it made sense at the time to just add 1 or 2 people for a new country. But you would have never organized that way initially if you said, bang, go from just a U.S. company to global company overnight. Mm-hmm.